Shouldn't use got? Okay, I won't. A tale from primary school. My dad reminded me of this early example of my occasional malicious compliance based on extreme literalism. The setting: I was in primary school, about 8 years old. The class focusing on creative writing. In my first story I used the word got in a sentence along the lines of, "The bear got to London." The feedback my teacher gave me was that I should use arrived at rather than got. For reasons I can no longer recall, if I ever did, but presumably because it sounded better or at least increased the word count. My next assignment was entitled, "How the Cherry Tree Arrived at Its Blossom." That particular teacher never quite dared to criticize my word choice after that. The actual sentence has been lost in the mists of times. Probably for the best as far as the literary record goes. Not gonna lie, you arrived at me in the first half. Taking directions literally. In Kindy or Year 1, I asked the teacher, why do some sentences have a line / in them? She said, it's another way of doing a space. So I wrote an entire story using only slashes instead of spaces. Nowadays, I'd like to think it's a possible early indicator of neurodiversity. Maybe. But back then the teacher told my parents I was a smartass and did it deliberately to make her look bad. My 5th grade teacher had that same rule. She insisted there was never a reason to use the word got in English. Every single example had an alternative word that would work better. For me it's gotten that gets my goat. It's a real word. And it's not bad grammar. But it sounds awful. I have never heard it used outside of US vernacular though. So maybe it'll die out naturally like it did everywhere else. Very clever. Haha, your teacher learned their lesson about criticizing your word choice. There's a great war poem that has the line, which we have not got. This brought up a memory I haven't thought of in ages. My 3rd grade teacher really hated the word "and" in a sentence. Surprise, surprise. She was known for having terrible grammar and no one trusted her with teaching anything to do with literature to the point someone else stepped in. So for the longest time I didn't use "and" when writing a sentence. That's hilarious and very sassy as an 8-year-old lol. I mean, it sounds as if you simply learned proper English. Who shot Alexander Hamilton? Aaron Burr. Arrived at milk? Reminds me of when I started misspelling words in Y2 aged 6. Because the teacher said she expected some spelling mistakes. Excellent compliance there.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.